Alors bonsoir et bienvenue à un autre épisode de Vintage Kids. Welcome and brand new in the episode of the kids in the old vintage. So good night and good afternoon and bon après-midi. Hein? Bien oui, bien sûr. Cette semaine, qu'est-ce que nous allons parler? Hein? Ben oui, nous allons encore discuter ensemble du retour du jeudi, la journée de la paix. Hein? C'est toujours agréable. Donc, cette semaine, nous allons reparler du retour de la paix. Donc, en espérant que vous allez pouvoir investir là, dans toutes sortes d'affaires qui vous font plaisir dans la vie. Hein? C'est important d'avoir du fun. Moi, j'en ai tout le temps. Hein? So, in the English, but of course, give me a chance to switch the name. See, so me, I'm the Vintage Phil, but of course. And this is tonight the vintage episode right here. Episode 43 of the Star Wars Episode 6 of the ROTJ Part 3. Yeah, so if you're not a Return of the Jedi fan, get the fuck out. J'ai dit ça, moi, là. Ben non, voyons non. Vous avez le droit de rester, là, puis vous endormir, puis trouver ça plate aussi. C'est bien correct. Moi, j'ai aucun problème avec ça. L'important, c'est de participer, qu'ils disent. Ben, c'est pas vrai, parce que moi, là, quand j'étais petit, je participais, puis je gagnais jamais. Mais c'est pas grave. So, what I was saying in French is pretty much not very important. So, I am not going to translate it. I don't have a télésouffleur, to shuffle me the information. So, as you can see, I invent new English words. So, shuffle, télésouffleur, souffleur TV. So, yeah, like I was saying, this week we're at 43 episode of the Vintage Kids. Yes, I'm still doing it. And I love it. So get used to it, bitches. In reality, I'm doing this to have something after I'm gone. I'm not going anywhere. You're stuck with me, guys. Yes, it's the one and only. It's a good thing that there's only one. You can talk about that to my girlfriend, my daughter, and my parents. So, like I was saying, welcome, bienvenue in the French, or a little bit of German, but of course. So, yes, what are we doing tonight? Well, we are doing much of the talking of the Jedi. So, my English has desecrated during last week. I think I drank too much of this cherry Coke sugar zero. So, yeah, I'm losing viewers. But when you're at zero, you don't really lose any viewers because you cannot go under zero. So zero is a number, Someone, one of my favorite joke in The Simpsons is, there's actually a percentage of recycled things in this product. And Lisa asked, oh yeah, what's the percentage? And the person from the company says, zero, it's a percentage. And she's right. So what are your numbers? Zero. It's a number. It doesn't mean that it's nothing, that it's really nothing, because zero is actually something, because you can actually see it and you can actually count it. So, and all information, what you're watching right now is actually ones and zeros. So, it's never nothing. Yeah. Okay. So, we are going to continue our journey with Return of the Jedi. And like I said, if it's not one of your favorite movie, well, you're stuck with me for a long hour. Well, I've just lost 7 minutes, so good for you. if you just joined. Okay. So, tonight, we are still going to show you some pictures of the monsters and everything in the Star Wars universe and movie. And of course, this is called a rancor. So, yeah, we were there because last week we stopped at, I ended this last week episode, with great pictures of our ultimate princess. And we were at the point where Luke actually falls into the Sarlacc, not the Sarlacc, but the Rancor pit. So, if you've watched Book of Boba Fett, you know that this beast is actually replaced. So I don't want to go into details in case you haven't watched the Book of Boba Fett. But the thing I'm going to say about this is, for me, as again a kid, and I'm a vintage kid. I don't know if I can put back my. Yeah, see, that's vintage Phil. Well, it's not really vintage Phil, but you know what I mean. So we can actually say that, as you guys know, it's actually Phil Tippett that did this Rancor thing. At first, they tried to do a man in a suit, and it looked very, very bad. So they tried it. They did not try it in stop motion. They actually created a puppet, a very small puppet about that high, that was controlled with, well, actually like Grogu. But the difference is they shot these scenes. Hey, Jim Arsenault, good to see you, man. We don't have the numbers tonight. It's time to have some huge farts and no one will smell them. So they did kind of a Grogu miniature of the Rancor. And what they did is they actually shot this in high speed. So when they is it high speed or low speed? I don't remember. They explain it in the famous Return of the Jedi making of that I've been talking about for the last 3 weeks. So yeah, they did a great job, because when I saw this when I was a kid, I was really impressed. And the fluent movement of this beast, I believed it. I totally believe it. And I remember being fucking scared of the fact that this thing actually eats a Gomerian guard. And I was thinking to myself as a kid, how come he's eating one of his friends? I mean, this guy is actually like a friend. And like, how come he's not just eating the fat guy? Well, Luke was not fat, so that probably why he chose the piggy guy. And I don't know, this Rancor doesn't look vegan at all, so So yeah, as a kid, I was really impressed. I was impressed with the result, and I was wondering, how did they do this, because this looks real. So anyway, so I'm gonna switch picture. Again, I'm showing pictures. I'm not showing part of the movie, because we're talking about one movie, not movies. Love this picture. The reason why I choose that picture is because it's a behind the scene, and it's it's Mark Hamill actually doing some Shakespearean theater joke. And this is actually the cranium, the head, the skull, skull. Let's use the word skull that he actually throws on the button. And spoiler alert, the Rancor is actually Leia's dad. Can you believe it? And that's the head of Leia's dad. I think I'm not in the right movie right now. Okay, so yeah, I love this scene. I love this picture because it's really like a funny thing of Mark Hamill fooling around on the set. And this is really the picture It's really the skull that he used and throw. You can see it right here. He actually throw this on the button that actually kills Leia's dad. And no, I'm not saying Kirk's mother-in-law, but we all thought of it. I don't know what's her name, what's Kirk's mother-in-law's name is, but I'm pretty sure she's a really nice lady. Like, like a really fancy, gentle grandma with like little bunny slippers and that loves to cook cookies and stuff. I don't know. So, yeah, so spoiler alert. This is actually a head that hits the button that Luke actually throws at. And I'm always wondering, is he using the Force, or why did he just push that button using the Force? Good question. And why didn't he just use the Force and close that huge door? Why didn't he open that door like he's stuck and get me out of here, the creature's going to eat me? But he doesn't. Anyway, we're not here to talk about all the bad ideas that Jordan had. So this is actually what happens to that wonderful beast. It gets crushed. Well, it's not really a question of crush. It's more like a scene from The Walking Dead. Like, got his brains spiked. So many questions. Oh, yeah. Tell me about it. So many questions. Yeah. Why doesn't the Jedi just turn off the other guy's lightsaber? That's a really good question. Man, that's really something. Jim, I think that's the greatest. You have to pose this question on other Star Wars groups, man. This is actually the question of the year. Like, why? Why doesn't he just like close the lightsaber and swing the shit out of the other one? What? I love this. So that's a great question, man. If you don't post this, I'm gonna steal it from you, man. I'm gonna post it and give me some good answer, everyone. Just like, don't tell me, well, there's actually a safe on the lights. No, there's no safe. We all have at least one replica of lightsabers, and I have 5 right there. I have 5 lightsaber right here, standing next there, and there's none of them actually have a safe to put it like, don't touch my button. No, go ahead, touch my button. Okay, so next picture. Well, Jim, at least we're having fun. This guy doesn't actually have fun at all because he just lost his favorite sex buddy or whatever. Because, yeah, that's actually the Rancor keeper. They actually did a figure out of this guy. But I don't have it right. Do I have a Rancor, vintage Rancor one near? I don't think so. Is that a Return of the Jedi? Yeah, okay. I've got a Return of the Jedi catalog. Where is he? Where are... Oh, there he is. See? Okay, I'm going to put this... I'm going to remove this one. I'm going to put me full screen. Look how... Just look how unhappy he is. Can you just focus, man? Focus. Focus. Come on, you can do it. Come on, camera. Hey, I paid good money for this camera. Work, man. Anyway, right there, he's really, really sad. See? Sad. Anyway, So if you have if you guys have a catalog, you can go or just pick up the action figure. We all have at least a Rancor keeper somewhere, but yeah, poor keeper. So let me bring him back to the. Whoa, there he is. Whoa, there I go. Oh, there I am. We're having fun with StreamYard. This episode of The Vintage Kid is brought to you by Kleenex. The best Kleenex when you lose your Rancor. So, yeah, poor guy. He actually lost like his dog or his pet or, I don't know. It's like a big Easter bunny with no magical eggs. So, next up. I'm probably forgetting stuff that I wanted to talk about. But I'm doing my best here, okay? And if you're not happy with it, just contact Kirk and say, man, who at Kenner thought he was a good idea for a figure and not someone like Tarkin? Yeah, that's a very good question. Well, Tarkin was actually dead in Return of the Jedi.
So here's a here's a little figure of Tarkin. He has disappeared.
No, but you're totally right, man. You're totally right. I mean, everyone would have loved to have a Tarkin, but we got one. We got a retro collection one that was available in. Was it in the? I don't remember, but it was available somewhere because I just sold mine recently. But you're totally right, Greg Marshall, my love. Okay, now I choose that picture because I thought it was really, really, really interesting to see that our friend, I forgot his name. What's his name? The diaper guy with the Kleenex on his head. Come on, what's his name? Right, you know, this guy, the guy that is actually in Empire Strikes Back. Bill or Bob the Bounty Hunter. What's the name of the guy that used to have that show? I don't know, the Bounty Hunter guy with the long hair that looks like a kind of Hulk Hogan type of fellow. Okay. Okay, sorry. So, what's his name? Dangar. Okay, Dangar. So, like I talked about last week, there's actually a shot of Bosk in the Jabba's palace, and now we actually have this shot that shows that Dangar was also in the Jabba's palace. So I thought it was great to see him on that picture. And I think I've got another one. Yeah, you can see him right here. So, I'm going to zoom in. You can actually see a Trandoshan next to him, but I don't think it's Bosk. So, there's actually Dangar right next to a Trandoshan, and right when Luke actually falls into the pit. And I think the reason why I did not notice this, it's probably because when I was a kid, after that I saw that movie once in the movie theaters, I only saw it on the TV, and the television screen was in 4:3 and not in 16 9 16 9 4:3 16:9. So like I explained it back in the days, the black series Dangar figure is a nice figure, probably one of my. Yeah, well, I don't have it. Oh yeah, I think did it came out as an archive figure and not just on the black series black box thing. I think it was an archive figure, but I could be wrong. But I wonder if they actually wrote Return of the Jedi or they wrote Empire Strikes Back. Ooh, that's a good question. Well, on most of the Black series, they don't really put It was more on the little figures, the 374, 375-inch figures. Anyway, so there's another shot of Dengar. So, like I said, if you actually watch this, if you watched this back in the 80s on television, they would actually cut the screen. Yes, I have the archive one. See, yeah, I'm not sure if they did a 6-inch Black Series version yet. That is not the archive one, but I'm not sure. Again, there's so many figures nowadays. There's more coming out every week. It's crazy. I'm gonna make another episode of the Vintage Kid, and I'm going to talk about the prices again because I mean it's fucking nuts. It's getting ridiculous. Today I went to Toys R Us. There's actually a Toys R Us, yeah, because we still have them in Canada. There's a Toys R Us not very far from my place, and I went there today, and I just couldn't believe what I was looking at. Can you believe? I'm going to say it very quick. If you want to purchase a Black Series action figure, okay, do you know how much they are at? There was one of the bucks. Seemed like a low distribution. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Probably you're right. It was probably like hard to find or a very low distribution. You're probably very right on that. So today at the Toys R Us, if I wanted to purchase any Black Series action figure, if they were not on sale, and on sale the prices were still ridiculous, I could have purchased one for $57 Canadian money. You're gonna say, man, that's about $4 US. But no, it's not $4 US. $1 Canadian is about 75 cents US or 80 cents US. So that's crazy. $57. 54.99 plus tax. So it's probably even more. It's more like you have to add at least $7 of taxes. So it's around 60 something for one figure. So man, when you actually see a $20 action figure for sale and it's a Black Series, jump on it. They're selling it $60 over here in Canada. Man, $60. For a lot of people around here, it's more than a full work, a day work. A lot of people don't make that kind of money a day over here in Canada. So, man. Okay. So, let's move on. Next picture. This is our friend Silacious Crumb. Why I put him there? Because I just love that creature. Love the fact that he's back on The Mandalorian. Love his laugh. And like I explained it last week or the week before, a lot of times when I start the Vintage Kids, I always say, hello in TV land. And this is actually one of the phrase of this fellow in the making of Return of the Jedi. He actually says, hello in TV land. The guy, the puppeteer guy, he actually uses his voice and say that and make him talk and says that. And that's the reason why I say this in the beginning of the Vintage Kids sometimes. Next picture. Okay, love this one. So you've got tons of... I was talking about this last week. There's so many great creature that was produced or created for the Jabba's Palace. They wanted to like do a better job on the cantina scene. That was a disappointment for George. So you see a lot of great pictures there. So you've got a Man, you've got the Rancor Keeper, you've got Max Rebo, you've got the Max Rebo band, Silacious Crumb, everyone, Yak Face, the Elephant Man. AV998999. Anyway, most of these guys are now available as figures. Well, I think they are. They did all of them. The ones that we can actually see on that picture were all produced except for me. I was produced as a bubble a Funko Pop, but I'll talk about that another time. Well, just go check the Funko Pop that they did for Keanu Reeves on the last Matrix, and it actually looks like me when my hair is loose and I'm not wearing glasses. Well, yeah, I'm wearing glasses. Anyway, go check that out. Next picture. Love the fact also that in this picture you have a Barada, and it's actually an Easter egg. Barada, Nikto, and what's the other? They're actually words used in a horror movie from the 70s or the 60s that actually says, there's a lady that actually says, Barada, Nikto, Kirkek. And they actually took that from that movie to create these Klaatu. Thank you very much. So, Klaatu, Barada, and what the other one that I just said? I don't remember. Kirk or Rick. I'm not sure. So yeah, that actually comes from a old vintage movie, and I was surprised to learn that. See, we're learning stuff every day. I've learned that a toilet actually flushes. I was really happy to learn that yesterday. No, I'm kidding. Next picture. Here it is. Here's our friend Bosk. I was saying that this guy is actually in Jabba's palace. Even worse, he's actually inside the sail barge. So can you imagine someone actually got some lizard barbecue bacon stuff? Because we all know that this shit blows up. And, well, he was inside. And it's really Boss because he's wearing the same outfit, that yellow jumpsuit from Doctor Who. Yeah, that's the guy. So again, I'm learning stuff myself. Didn't know he was there, but here's the proof. He's actually in Jabba's. He's inside. He's right there. Can you see it? No, I'm kidding. So this is actually a shot of behind the scene of behind the barge. So that's the real life-size barn that they constructed in 1983. And this is actually a behind the barge. And yeah, so that's what the barge looked like. You can actually see that it's all made of wood. And yeah, it was supposed to be really safe. But if you look closely, there's a few pieces of wood that is like, oh, this is starting to be heavy, man. But yeah, but can you imagine the time it took to create that thing? So anyway, so what you're saying is that Jabba's actually not inside that thing because it's actually only a shell. Yeah, it is. Okay, next picture. Here's another shot of behind the scene. We actually have Luke and Lando and the Klaatu guy with Chewie that are getting ready to jump into boxes. Yeah, so that's how they shot this famous scene. And the reason why I'm going to say it, I've been waiting to tell you more about this shot. I'm going to go back here, zoom in. I got a better picture, but we'll use that one. Okay, as a kid, as I've told in the past, I used to listen to the soundtrack of Return of the Jedi, the John Williams music. I was a real big fan as a kid. And my favorite piece of music was not the Star Wars theme, not the Imperial March. It was actually from that scene. That scene that starts with... with the build up. You know what I mean? Because if I keep on singing, they will cut the shit out of me. But this music and this scene for me is probably one of my favorite scenes in Return of the Jedi. And as a kid, I've listened to that piece of music over and over and over and over again. And as a kid, I've already said that before. I've been working in the movie business while I've been working on production stuff and creating. Anyway, we'll talk about more maybe one day, but I've got a fucking huge imagination. And as a kid, it was probably worse because, I mean, I was eating a lot of sugar back then, you know what I mean? And was eating a lot of cereals. And I remember that every time that I was listening to that piece of music, I was imagining a different scene that I would be in. So any kind of situation in my life, like, I don't know, I would get to school and save people or whatever, but that piece of music for me is amazing. Just try to find it on YouTube and just close your eyes and listen. Take the time to just listen to the music, and you'll see that your imagination will go crazy because you can feel that build up, that, and then it goes. It's like, wow. Anyway, so that's probably one of the songs. That's probably one of the piece of music that made me love so much John Williams and all kinds of scores from movies. And that's probably why I've listened to that kind of music for a very long time. I'm still listening to them, but I was only listening to that when I was a kid. Next picture. R2D2, the bartender. So I got several pictures of this. I remember I was also very impressed to see R2 like doing something different. Like, okay, he's an astromech, he's a robot, but wow, he could actually serve drinks. I was like, ooh, impressed. And I love the details on the little thing he's got on the shoulders. And if you are a fan of R2D2 and you want to get a great piece, a great statue, or a great detailed action figure, well, not necessarily action figure, but like a premium statue or whatever, I'm going to show you the one. So here's a better shot of him working with all the drinks. And there's actually a premium figure. That's the one. So there's actually this premium figure from Sideshow. They did an amazing job. I used to own that figure, but I sold it. And the details on this thing is incredible. I'm going to show you when it's inside the box. There it is. All the details are great, and that's the Sideshow action figure. It actually comes also with a, I think it's Leia. And you've got the pop-up saber. You can actually fit also the saber in the head. The glasses are great. Everything is amazing on this action figure. One of my favorite that they did on R2. Details are amazing. Well, anyway, I'm not here to sell you action figures, but if you're looking for a great one, that's a great one. Okay, famous shot of our great Gomerian guard. They did an amazing job to create this kind of huge figure, and they look stupid, but they look terrifying. I was a little I'm not I'm not sure if I'm the only one, but I was a little disappointed to see them wrestle in The Mandalorian. And the reason why I'm saying this is not because they don't look like Gamorrean guard. It's I thought they look smaller. These guys look huge in Return of the Jedi, like really fatty guys, more than me, and a lot of meat. You know what I mean? A lot of pork, and the Mandalorian. I thought that they looked really skinny, or like they don't look really as scary. I was scared about with these guys when I was a kid. The face, the horns, the big mouth, the drooling. She actually looked just like one of my grandmas. No, I'm kidding. But anyway, I love these characters. Look at the great. They did an amazing job. Once Jabba died, they found it hard to get work. Yeah, and food. Probably. Anyway, that's an amazing figure. They did an amazing job. Kenner did an amazing job on recreating that great action figure. As a kid, I played a lot with these guys. Love also the fact that it was the only one that got this axe. The axe looks amazing. And of course, as you guys know, Kenner reused this figure to create for Robin Hood. I don't remember the name, Petit Jean, Gros Jean, or Little Fat Boy, or whatever. I don't remember the name. Anyway, next picture, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, there's the shot I was talking about. So great shot again. This is the shot that was, that's exact, Little John, Petit Jean. See, in French, it's Petit Jean. Yeah, Petit Jean, Little John. So, love this picture. Love this shot when, like, Han Solo is, like, wondering what the hell is going on. Are we home? This belongs in the museum. Frère Tuck, Friar Tuck. Oui, c'est le frère Tuck. Le frère Tuck, t'as raison. Brother Tuck, Petit Jean. See, yeah, Little John. I don't know, le frère Tuck, c'est-tu Petit Jean? Is Tuck, Brother Tuck is Little John? I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not a real professional on Robin Hood. But I love the movie, man. I'm a big Kevin Costner fan. I love everything that Kevin Costner touches. I haven't seen pictures of his wife, but most of the movies I did. So anyway, back to the Return of the Jedi. Love, of course, this scene. Let me click on the next one. Yeah, there she is. I just love this picture. I selected that one. You probably already saw Frère Tuck. Yeah, it's not Petit Jean. You're right. It's not Little John. It's Frère Tuck. See? Greg should be here every day of the week, man. When I have a good question, Greg Marshall is here. Anyway, back to that sexy lady, and I'm not talking about the guy with the beard, and I'm not talking about me. This is so funny because this is I don't know if there's actually a video of this, but it's actually Carrie Fisher saying, "Are you kidding me, man? Am I really wearing this?" And George's like, "Yeah, you are." And we're like, "Oh yeah, she is. Thanks, George." We love you, George. I mean, look at her face and look at his face. Like, yeah, I did that. I call it worthless knowledge. Yeah, tell me about it, man. Yeah, my mom, I've already said that. My mom told me one day, if the knowledge you've got on Star Wars and on The Simpsons were actually on medical stuff, you'd be a art surgeon. And I don't want to be art surgeon. I want to be George Lucas and being inside that picture and be able to watch that magnificent thing. Me too, Greg. Sometimes I even get them correct. Yeah, it's good to have at least once. Well, you can Google it first, then you can kind of have it almost correct. But yeah, man, we got so much useless knowledge in our heads. Oh man, it's crazy. Okay, next picture is because I think George is also enjoying this too much. God, she looks amazing. Next picture. Here's another shot of behind the scenes. I'm not going to spend time talking about that again. Here's a great shot. So again, Klaatu, Barada, Nikto. No, Nikto's not there. But see, you've got Barada. That's a great picture of Barada. And yeah, Klaatu. And I'm wondering, we don't really know if this is the guy that actually plays in The Mandalorian at the bar in season 2. I've always wondered since then. Is it the same guy? I don't know. Is it the same Klaatu? I don't know. Anyway, next picture. Here's a great shot of the Pop-Pop R2. This is not a mint on card one. This is actually a picture one. And yeah, I mean, this whole scene with the secret R2 compartment with the lightsaber, just great. It's just great. It's just funny because the head of the lightsaber looks actually flat. So it's not underneath and it's not really on top. So see, that's the kind of stuff they could have fixed in the special edition instead of adding songs. Okay, I'm not going to talk about that again. Another great shot. I love these shots. I always love to find some. Yeah, it's the top. It's the actual top that we can see on inside of R2. Anyway, so love this shot. It's actually like Luke. Well, Mark Hamill like resting his eyes, taking a break, and it's fun to see that. There's actually his lightsaber and the rope that Boba Fett actually ties him with. So he's like sitting down. Is Boba Fett ready, man? No, not yet. Okay, wake me up later. So I just love those behind the scenes pictures. Here's the big guy. Of course, Boba. Man, I love that character. Everyone loves this character. So, of course, we're not going to talk about much of his death, but it's like he's so mysterious. He's supposed to be the best bounty hunter in the world, and he just got eaten by a giant slug. Just love these pictures. Sad thing to see the rifle, his gun actually blown up because this gun is actually iconic. I just love his gun. It looks great, and it actually looks different from any other characters in the Star Wars universe. So, okay, we're talking about details. So this is actually the shot where Han Solo accidentally breaks his jetpack and he goes flying. I don't think I got the picture, but they actually used that jetpack and watch the scar on it for creating the jetpack in Mandalorian season 2 to have the exact same spot where it was actually broken by Han Solo. So love those kinds of details that they put in to make sure that everything looks great. Okay, so there is Boba Fett flying over and hitting the sail barge, but I want you to look at Mr. Mark Hamill giving a huge kick in the air and not about, I don't know, that's 3 feet from his face. And they never fixed it. They never fixed it. So it's like a force kick because the guy is like very far from Luke, and like Luke actually kicks in the air, and there's like he touches nothing, and the guy just flies away like, oh my god, it's a Jedi kick. Anyway, love this shot. It's really funny. Okay, I was talking about details. Love those details. So we all know that this is actually looks robotic, and they did a great job of showing that. Well, first of all, this guy is probably a stormtrooper, or he was a stormtrooper, because instead of shooting right in the body, he actually shoots his hand. Why? I don't know. But there's actually a hole that is created, and that's the reason why Luke is wearing that black glove. And the good thing is that they took the time to make sure that you can actually see that problem with Luke's hand in well, that was the Last Jedi. That's probably okay, I'm not gonna say it. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. It's probably the only good thing on the Last Jedi is that they took the time to make sure that there's actually a hole in on his hand, and this is why this is how he gets it. Here's a better shot. Love also the fact that they you can actually see that what blows up is underneath the scar. Details again. So Luke actually gets shot a little higher, but the technicians or the pyrotechnic guy actually put the boom inside the there, you know, the what the you know, la chemise, hein, la chemise. Voyons, comment t'appelles ça, là? Un bras de chemise, là, tu sais, une manche. Ah, ben oui. Inside the manche. I don't remember the name for the manche, you know? Ah, Steve, thank you very much. Jim, it's a good thing that you're here with me tonight, man. Because I think I'm the other guy that watching this. I love you, brother. Oh, man, we're having fun. So, Sleeve, thank you. You see, you're gonna be my my English teacher now. In mensch, you know, in manche, see, it's a mensch. Okay, next picture. Oh, okay. Again, love these shots. This is actually a behind the scene. I think that's the guy that shoots his hand. And like he's dancing. Oh, he's with me. So, all right, Greg. It's the Greg and Jim's night. Tonight on the Vintage Kids, Greg Marshall and special guest Jim Arsenault. With musical guest, I don't know, Kirk Keck and the Heartbreakers. Okay. Oh man, at least we're having fun. People that aren't here, they're not having fun. That's not as much as we are. That's for sure, man. Okay. So yeah, that's the Giants. That's Kirk's mother-in-law getting like uh, the Three Musketeers. Yeah, exactly, man. Uh, this is actually Greg's.
I'm getting confused. Oh, my heart just stopped.
Um, yeah, so this is actually Kirk's mother-in-law getting choked just like she likes it. Don't tell Shannon. Shh, it's a secret. This is it's like a sex adventure that goes wrong.
Choke me more.
That's a bit too much. Stop it. Anyway, so yeah, that's how you kill a giant worm. You just choke it to death. So look at his face. He looks. I'm not sure if he's enjoying this or he's not enjoying this. Oh, I like that. Okay, next picture. There she is. So again, I mean, come on. Oh, okay. Again, behind the scene. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of more things that happen behind the scenes, but hey, I don't have the videos. Next picture. That's a iconic picture. I mean, you show this to someone, people are going to say, yeah, that's Star Wars. I mean, that's it. That's Star Wars. You don't, even if you haven't seen the movie, you show this to someone, you know what this is? Yeah, that's Star Wars. Yeah, have you seen the movie? No. But that's Princess Leia wearing a bikini. That I know, but I have no idea what Star Wars is. But yeah, that's an iconic picture. So here is Rick taking a nap between tallies. No, come on. Rick, I love you, Rick, if you're watching this. Yeah, I mean, I was explaining last week that Jedi is actually pretty sad when you think about it. Everyone dies. Even Han Solo was supposed to die, but yeah, he's still there. He's at 80. He's even doing another Indiana Jones. But yeah, I mean, Yoda dies, and I was really surprised to see how he was different or how quick he aged from Empire Strikes Back to Return of the Jedi. There's actually like I think 2 years between those two movies. Like, man, what happened? He got COVID. They go bust COVID, or he ate some roots that he wasn't supposed to eat, or something like that. You know, the guy that was on the bus. You have to check that out, man. There's actually a guy that lived in a bus somewhere in the U.S. and that bus became famous, and he was there and he was living his life. And I don't think he was lost. I don't remember anyway. I'm not going to tell the whole story, but the reason why I'm saying this is that he actually started to eat roots. He thought he was actually eating good stuff for him. But what he didn't know is that those roots were actually poison for humans. So he died slowly. That's a terrible death. So perhaps that's what happened to Yoda in those 2 years. He found the bus and it started eating the wrong roots. I don't know. But I was surprised as a kid to see how quickly, or how, man, what happened to him? Got cancer, or he got some Jedi cancer or something? Because you look way better on the Empire Strikes Back. What happened to this guy? Anyway, so there's no like Jedi medicine that he could have used, but yeah, he's old. I totally understand that he's pretty old. Next picture. Look how old he is. So yeah, so losing our friend Yoda. And of course, that's the shot when Luke actually learns that Leia is his sister. Spoiler! Um, was I surprised? Not really, but I always wondered. Let's say that. Have a good night, man. Take care. Uh, I always wondered, did the fact that they made Leia um Luke's brother and Vader's daughter, did it really bring something to the story? Really? Like, oh, yeah, okay, so Vader, we knew that he got a son, but now there's actually a girl, and by luck, that girl is actually Leia. If you think about it, it's something cool. It's a great idea. But let's say that they would only has been three Star Wars: Empire, A New Hope, Empire, and Return, and there would be no Episode 7, and they would have no EU books and stuff. Was it really necessary? I don't think so. Leia could have just been Leia, but not necessarily Vader's daughter, because actually, when you listen to episode 4, 5, and 6, it doesn't change anything to the story. It changes stuff afterwards, like, oh, yeah, okay. But she could have fallen in love with Han Solo. She could have kissed Luke in Empire Strikes Back and in A New Hope. It would be okay. Like that love triangle would have been right. But they decided to, like, there is another, like, that boy is our last hope. No, there is another, like, another Skywalker? Okay, cool. There is another. But, no, that when he says there is another, it's actually in Empire Strikes Back. So, yeah, they planned it on Empire Strikes Back when you think about it. But Leia still kisses him on Empire Strikes Back, so there's a problem there in this scenario. But anyway, so guys, we've been here already for an hour. Jesus, we're heading for episode part 4 of Return of the Jedi. But hey, I want to do this the right way. So I'm going to be back next week doing a little more of Return of the Jedi. Oh, I'm back. Oh, here I am. Oh, it's complicated. Yeah. So, yeah, the kiss, but I mean, would it really bring something to the story when you think about it? In the whole original trilogy, that she's actually Vader's daughter and Luke's sister? Not really. I would have to analyze. I would have to look at this more in a global, in a different point, from a certain point of view. But I think that just having yeah. I don't know. It's a good question, man. It's as a good question, not as good, but close. The question that Jim brought earlier that I really want to put on some of the Star Wars group is, how come the fucking Jedi just don't use the Force and close their lightsabers from their opponent? Here you go. Oh shit. All right. So that's it for this week, guys. Thank you very much for being around. If you're watching this on YouTube or on other platforms, well, good for you. And if you have any suggestions, you have any idea, if you have any questions, please send me a message and I'll be happy to answer them And that's it. So, as I always say, have a great week. Be safe, be good, be wild, be you. Have a great week and kiss your kids and tell them that you love them. Same thing for your girlfriends and your parents and your brothers and your sisters and whatever. So, guys, faites attention à vous. On se revoit la semaine prochaine, si Dieu le veut. Même heure, même poste, au même bas de channel. Bye bye.